The following episode of I Should Be Writing deals more with mental health than writing advice. Because some people may not be into listening to this, I'm going to go ahead and announce the winner of the Beth Cato books. Thank you everyone who emailed in. Winner of the book is Calvin R. Baker. So Calvin, send me your physical address and I will get that in the mail to you. I Should Be Writing number 384 for Wednesday, September 27th, 2017.
Well, I should be writing. I should be working on my craft. I should be writing. I should be submitting my next draft. But I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who.
Hi there. Welcome to I Should Be Writing, the podcast for wannabe fiction writers. I'm your host, Mur Lafferty. And I got a couple housekeeping stuff to talk about. First, we have a new dog. She is 10 months old, so she looks like an adult, but she still kind of acts like a puppy. And because I have to keep an eye on her, they're going to be in the office with me. So if you hear doggy sounds like rustling and snarling, that's what's going on. I'll try to cut it out when I can. And for non-dog people, dogs sometimes snarl when they play, so I'm not in the middle of a scary dog fight. I promise. Second, I said I was going to do a whole bunch of beginning, basic stuff. And unfortunately, it has come up that I need to talk more about mental health right now. For the first time in weeks and weeks and weeks, I actually missed a week of posting podcasts. If you're not a listener of Ditch Diggers, you didn't notice anything. But if you are, you'll notice that I didn't post anything last week. I posted something yesterday. And I'm getting this up today, and then I'll be caught up again. Matt and I have recorded for next week, so next week's is ready to be edited. So hopefully I can get back on track. But essentially what happened was I got into another depressive period. I think this happens in the fall for me. I want to talk about it this time because for the first time in maybe ever, I actually recognized it for what it was. I was not getting anything done. I was sitting there messing around online or playing a game and constantly berating myself. The self-loathing was just at epic proportions. After a full day of doing absolutely nothing, I realized that I was having a depressive episode. And the thing about depression is it's not always sadness. There's nothing making me sad. I don't feel sad. I don't have a sad outlook on my life. I am just tired and completely unmotivated to do anything. Every time I think about work, I feel like there's a wall that goes up in my head that says, this is far too difficult. Don't even spend time on it because it'll be a waste of your time because you just won't be able to do it. Not even that it's going to suck. It's that you won't be able to do it. So why try? And so Monday I realized that this is depression. And when you get your depression dealt with, things may get better, but you can still have episodes. There, I've put the dogs downstairs in their crates with something to chew on. Which is probably what I should have done in the first place. Alright, so I forgot where I was specifically. Depression, not necessarily something that makes you sad, but right, so I recognized this while I was in the middle of it. Usually I only realize it in hindsight. And I still felt weird voicing it because it felt like I was looking for an excuse that I didn't do any work. But I talked to my husband about it. That helped. So I decided that I was going to try to change some things. Now, I want to make it clear that depression is a clinical mental health issue, and you can't just fix it yourself sometimes. Sometimes you need professional help. However, your mental health is sitting on a foundation of your physical health. If you do what you can to improve your physical health, that will shore up your mental health. And I was realizing I wasn't sleeping a lot, I wasn't exercising, I was staying in pajamas or yoga pants most of the day until it was time to pick up my daughter. So the whole day in pajamas, which is, it's like the fun writerly home thing to think about, but it's also the depressed person who won't put on pants kind of thing. I was drinking alcohol, so I decided I needed to fix those things. So Monday night, I didn't have wine with dinner. I had tea before bed. Tuesday morning, I got up, got dressed, took the dogs for a walk. It's helping a little bit. I haven't been work-focused this week. I have been better at taking care of the things around me that affect my mental health, which is essentially, if my house is a pit, then I'm going to be more unhappy. It's just, I think it's a proven thing that clutter distracts people. So I've been able to do my part of the chores, exercise the dogs, exercise myself, eat right, drink a lot of water, and I'm doing better. I'm still easily distracted and still sometimes not able to focus, or the idea of work makes me kind of, that wall goes up again. However, right now I have the benefit of deadlines because I have 2 things due tomorrow that I really need to work on today. And I was very proud of myself for getting the podcast out every week. And then I didn't last week. And again, the self-loathing kicked in. I'm working on that again. I'm telling you guys this because I hear time and again that me talking about my mental health, me showing that I have bad days, me showing that I can have problems with motivation writing helps other people, because when they have their problems, it doesn't seem to be all that. It doesn't seem to be unique to them, I'm trying to say. Only one person that I've noticed, I'm sure someone has elsewhere, but only one person is put an iTunes thing saying I whine a lot. Which, sometimes I do. This podcast is about dealing with all of the fears and questions that new writers have, and some people might see that as whining. I'm sure it'd be great if we had the I'm a Confident Writer podcast, but I don't know anybody with the capabilities to actually record that. I am continuing to take my medication. I'm trying to work on my physical foundation to help give a better place for my mental health to stand. And I'm just hoping that in a couple of days I will come out of this. And one thing that's bad about depression that I want to mention, one more thing, is even though people acknowledge that it is a mental health issue, which means that outside your own head, it doesn't matter how things are going. We always hear about rich and famous rock stars with healthy marriages killing themselves. And we wonder, well, you've got money and love and fame. Why would you ever do that? Well, depression doesn't care. Depression doesn't care how much money you have. I will be thrilled when I am able to announce this, but I don't think I can yet. But in the past 2 weeks, I've gotten some good news. Some staggering good news. Some unexpected good news. For the record, they have nothing to do with a 6 weeks movie option, unfortunately. But, just in case anybody was thinking that. But that has nothing to do with my depression, except that it gives a level of guilt on top of my depression. Because I'm thinking, I have no reason to be depressed. My life is pretty damn good. Yes, politics depresses me. It's a daily grind down. We are beset by many, many natural disasters lately. So those are scary things, and they can affect your mental health too. But personally, my life's pretty great. And so when I acknowledge that I'm depressed, it makes me feel guilty. But as I was talking to my husband about this, he just looked at me and he said, the black dog doesn't care. Black dog doesn't care how good your news is. It's just going to come into your life. So I have to acknowledge that the black dog is here. I feel guilty saying this because my dog is black and he's delightful. I'm talking the metaphorical black dog of depression. And there's no amount of good news that's going to help. But of course, bad news could always make it worse. But I think I'm getting better because I got some bad news in the typical writer world kind of news. Not horrible news yesterday, but thought something was going to happen and it didn't kind of news. And I was okay. So I felt proud about that. My husband sent me a text saying, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I'm okay. So I think I might be getting better. But remember that if things are great and you still feel miserable or unmotivated or just tired all the time, it's okay. Depression doesn't care. And as the blogess says, depression lies. She also is very open about her mental health issues. And, I've had that feeling. I've had that, wow, you're an incredibly popular blogger and you had a best-selling book. How can you be depressed? Well, it has nothing, the black dog does not care about her success. Someone could look at me. I'm a popular podcaster. My book's done okay this year. Why am I depressed? The black dog doesn't care. So I'm not talking about writing a lot, but what I'm talking about affects my writing every day. And talking about it helps, because once I talked to my husband about it, I felt better equipped to deal with it. And now that I've had a couple of days of dealing with it, I'm actually recording this. So I want to reiterate, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to diagnose you. And if you think you might be depressed, talk to a professional. Don't just take what I say I'm doing in my life as a fix, because it's not a fix. It's a shoring up my own foundation. So if you're not taking care of yourself, step one is take care of yourself. If you're not sure whether you have a mental health problem, talk to somebody about it. I will get back to regular writing advice in 2 weeks. And I'm very excited to say that I have an author who has published a very popular book from NaNoWriMo, Nikki Drayden, and Grant Faulkner, the CEO of NaNoWriMo. They will be my October interviews. So I'm very excited to be bringing you that. So I'm not going to do my usual shill. If you have any questions, you can email me at mightymur@gmail.com. And my blog is murverse.com. But I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying with me through the podcasts that are helpful and the podcasts that are more of a personal bent. But still, I couldn't do it without you guys. I would just be talking into the void. So after this, I actually have to get some writing done, because, you know. Remember, you can support the show at patreon.com/mightymur. I should be writing theme music provided by John Anelio. You can find more about him at johnanelio.com. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike license.
Is on TV